Hello YouTube, I welcome you to this fine video, and this is my historic Brawl crafting guide. So this video is a bit of a different one, and I am going to discuss what, in my opinion, are the best cards to craft if you want to transition from standard Brawl to historic Brawl. So, a few rules apply here. First and foremost, I have only picked cards that are from historic itself. So while yes, new triumphs are really good for Brawl, if you're like playing a lot of standard Brawl, you probably have a copy of each of them. So this is the reason why I've only picked historic cards from this for this list. The second thing to note is everything has to be taken into context. For example, Talia is an insane card, but only if you enjoy wide aggressive decks. So yeah, I'm going to explain my choices, and then you can craft to your heart's content. Anyways, let's go to the first contender, and this is probably the only point in the list where I am saying you have to craft these. And these are the 10 check lands. Yeah, because they check if you have a forest or an island in this example. These 10 check lands are absolutely insane. If you want to get a good base in multicolored decks, there is no way around these cards. So these are the only 10 cards on this list where I'm not hesitant to say craft these as soon as possible, at least once, if you want to get into historic Brawl multicolor decks, because these are just amazing. They fix your mana and they don't come in tapped, and yeah, just great overall. So the first point here are the wide aggressive decks and the life gain decks. So if you are enjoying the life gain archetype, Serra Ascendant is the card for you, because it can just get huge immensely fast, and when it's huge, it gets you a ton of more life, because it swings in for 6 every turn, you gain 6, and it's amazing. On that note, Resplendent Angel fills the same role, but it is not as explosive as the Serra Ascendant. I would say Serra Ascendant over Resplendent, but if you want to go life gain in historic Brawl, these two cards are really good. So second of all, Legion's Landing is a multi-tool for aggressive decks, because it can generate value against control decks where you have no business of generating more value and just grinding them out. This is also a great tool for life gain decks as well, because these tokens have lifelink, but they all are also able to fill out different roles in other decks. So also a great craft if you just enjoy wide aggressive decks. The same note, Talia of Gardiner of Thraben. This card is bonkers, and you can see that by, like, this card sees play in every single format it's legal except Commander, because Commander is weird. But in every single 1v1 format, this card sees play. Well, also, I believe it does see play in Commander. Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely, what am I talking about? Anyways, craft this if you enjoy wide aggressive decks. The next group in this topics are the 2 historic board wipes White gains access to. So this is more for you control players out there. And Set the Wreckage especially is absolutely nutty, because it is at instant speed, and that just can turn games around so quickly to your favor. And Cleansing Nova is just also another board wipe. If they keep printing good form or just playable 4-mana board wipes, this will fall out of favor, but I think for at least 2 years you're safe to craft this easily. The next 2 cards are in the Azorius category, and one of them is one of the best historic cards in my opinion. That's Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. He can be your commander. You can make a really good control deck with him as a commander. And also he's really good in Super Friends deck, in Jessica, whatnot. when you play Azorius, the likelihood that you're playing this guy in your deck is very, very high. So you will not regret crafting this guy. On another topic, if you enjoy having Teferi as your commander, or just any planeswalker that you want to ultimate really fast, or just enjoy the Super Friends lifestyle, this card is also for you, because it makes your planeswalker go supercharged, double the loyalty each turn, and wow, it's just amazing in those decks. Going on to the full blue cards, Search for Azcanta is really good in control decks. It is really good in decks that want to find specific cards. And it has also seen a ton of standard play in its days, but those are over, but it still reigns supreme in Historic Brawl. If you enjoy artifacts, on the other hand, Sai Master Thopterist and Karn Siren of Urza provide insane engines, because in what you can do with Karn in artifacts deck, sometimes you just care about the tokens. So you go -2/-2, and then you have like 2 10/10s just sitting on your board at turn 5-6. It's just amazing. And Sai Master Thopterist is more of a play me first card, whereas Karn is a play me last card. Because Sai can just grow huge amounts of Thopters, and they also really synergize with each other, because these Thopters are also artifacts, and then you can just 20 constructs or something like that. It's humongous. So now on to the extra turn spells. Nexus of Fate, and this is a big one, right? Because I am not sure if this is legal. Just a heads up, this card was not legal in the Historic Brawl event, but on the ban list they did for it. I believe it just was Meddling Mage, Oko, and a few other cards, but there was no Nexus in there. The reason I believe why it's working like that is because Historic Brawl adapts the 1/1 specific changes on the best of 1 specific changes, where Nexus of Fate is banned in best of 1 but not in best of 3. So if you just enjoy playing with friends and like combo decks, Nexus of Fate is a must-have card for you. But if you just want to, like, this is like a bit of a gray area, I say. If you are always upholding the ban lists, I would wait on this card to wait until they have an official statement on the next Historic Brawl event or whatnot. But a card that will stay legal is Karn's Temporal Sundering. Also really good with Super Friends, also really good with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria as the head. But as you've seen in my last Kinnan video, where I cast this, I believe, on turn 5 and then just 1, it can do really nutty things with cheap commanders that can just come out, be on the board, and then you can't just cast it. Because you can only cast this when you have a legendary on the board. But as I said, with cheap commanders like Kinnan, this is pretty much not a requirement at all. Onto the black cards. If you enjoy comboing off and doing one specific combo, Mastermind's Acquisition will come in really handy, because it's just a tutor. You just tutor something out of the deck, and it's amazing at doing this. 4 mana is quite expensive, but if you just pull out an Omniscience with it and then just cheat it out with your hand, for example with Joda, if you enjoy stuff like that, Mastermind's Acquisition is the craft for you. Also, most black decks will play a Crypt Breaker, especially because most black creature decks are like 30 to 50% zombies anyways, at least. And if you're in zombie tribal, this is obviously a must-have. But this is just amazing because it is a 1-drop that gives you a guaranteed 2-drop in its activated ability, and then when you create one more zombie, this pretty much turns into Phyrexian Arena and just draws you and draws you and draws you cards. So, great pickup. This card I would only recommend if you like mono black, but if you like mono black, there is no way around this card, because your land base in Historic in mono black decks will probably look like Castle Lochthwain, Cobbled Stronghold, 22 basic swarms. That's it. But this card can generate huge amounts of mana in the mid and late game for your deck. So if you like mono black, this is the card for you. If you like to tutor up creature combos or just have value-oriented graveyard strategies like Muldrotha, Fauna Shaman is also quite insane, because she can tutor every single turn for a specific creature that you want, and if you care about your graveyard and have cards that return from the graveyard, this is essentially get a free creature from your deck into the graveyard every turn, and it's just amazing. And the last historic card I want to mention, but certainly not the least, is Galta Primal Hunger. Green Stompy strategies or Gruul Stompy strategies, or even in Reanimator you can use this if you are in green as well. This girl is big and quite cheap, because you can have games where you can just drop her on turn 4, and as a commander you can also totally play her, because when she gets removed, the commander text is also reduced by this X spell, costs X less to cast. So even if she is removed, if you have enough power on board, you can just play her again for 2 mana. So she's just a huge threat to the opponent and comes down way too quickly. So a few cards I haven't mentioned here are Radiant Destiny, because if you enjoy Tribal, yes, this is the pick for you, but I have only recommended cards that are like, that don't have a weaker version in Standard right now. Like, okay, these board wipes technically count like under that category, but the problem here is Standard doesn't have enough board wipes for you to draw them consistently, and that's what these things do. If you if you can't just play 2 board wipes in your deck, yeah, you're not drawing them consistently. So that's why I recommend you craft Cleansing Nova and Settle the Wreckage, right? But overall, I think this list is quite nice. Also, you can obviously do Seal of the Empty Throne in Enchantments deck, and Urza's Ruinous Blast is a must-have if you play Sisay as the commander. But these would be my recommendations for you. If you have any questions to me, you want to ask me, just ask them in the comment section and I will try to answer them, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.